Yo, what's up? Oh, yeah. Today I'm talking about using a Jedi mind trick to change the subject when the conversation's going sideways. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. All right. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, I'm not gonna let you wait until the end of the video to find out what that Jedi mind trick is. I'm gonna give it to you in one moment. Just bear with me for a second, okay? Because I need to explain this. If you haven't heard of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, this was a term that I heard from Tony Robbins. Back in the day, I was like 20 years old, man, and I was just absorbing books, personal development, tapes, and all kinds of things to just improve my life and be more successful, right? So Tony Robbins uses this, he was a student and practitioner of what's called neuro-linguistic programming. And it's basically how do you rewire someone's brain to go from being homeless to a functioning person in society to successful, as an example, right? And in extreme cases, it's all about your belief systems. This is wild. So he was saying that if your beliefs are so strong, people with multiple personality disorders, in the most extreme of cases that he's experienced himself, the fucking person's eye color can change. Wow, like, isn't that nuts? Their eye color can change with extreme cases of multiple personality disorder where that other personality has taken over. And at the root, it's all about their belief system. That person truly believes that they're this other person, and it changes your physiology, which is fucking crazy shit. So his point was your beliefs are so powerful, they can change your physiology, which is nuts. Okay, so I'm getting to this Jedi mind trick when the conversation has gone sideways. So if you've ever been on a date, right, and you start getting into a discussion about religion, politics, yeah, you can talk about sex pretty safely depending on how you phrase it. But let's say religion and politics specifically, especially what's going on in the Middle East right now. There are some people that are so pro-Palestinian, let's just say, and you have any inkling that you support Israel and what they're doing, oh shit. That's what I'm talking about. Or a Trump supporter versus a Biden supporter. That kind, you know what I'm getting at? Right. Okay. So the conversation is going sideways. How do you save it? How do you change it and use this Jedi mind trick? I'm getting to it, but I want to just explain one more thing. If you've never read the book Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini, okay? Robert Cialdini, his book, I won't go on to all details about this book. It's a fantastic book, but one of the key takeaways in the book was the power of one word, and that word is because. So they did a study at a university and a photocopy machine, and the photocopy machine always had this huge fucking lineup, right? So they take this guy, and one day he goes right to the front of the line. He says, "Hi, I need to make some copies. I'm running late." Day number one. Fine. Next day, same dude, wearing the exact same thing, lineup, photocopier, goes right to the front. He says, "Hi, I need to make some copies because I'm running late." The difference in the reaction of the people between the two tests is nuts. The one time when he didn't say because, he was met with anger and people were basically going to beat his ass. The next day, he uses the word because, and rarely did somebody get aggressive and want to beat his ass. Basically, people complied 7 or 8 times out of 10. That's a very high compliance rate for using the word because. So you can use the word because more often in your conversations when you want something to get a higher percentage of chance that that person's going to comply. So now I'm going to give you this Jedi mind trick. I've just explained the power of words, the power of your belief systems and all of that. So the Jedi mind trick is laughter. That's right. And you're like wondering, what the fuck? laughter. Okay, listen. What happens to the brain when if you want to change subjects, how do you go from first gear to sixth gear? You can't. You can't unless you go in neutral, right? You have to take it out of first, put it in neutral, then put it in sixth gear, right? Or down, whatever. So laughter is neutral. And I will say that again. Laughter is neutral. So the conversation's starting to get heated, as an example. And let's just say, okay, you're talking about the situation in the Middle East. And one of the things you could say is, you know what? As an example, not a perfect example, but as an example, the person, we're talking about the Middle East, and you'd say, you know, one thing I don't like about Middle East, and let's say it's a dating situation. She says, what's that? Because things are kind of getting. You're like, well, there's a lot of sand. She's like, yeah. Well, I don't swim very well in sand. She might start laughing at that, or something where you make fun of yourself, or you make a joke about the situation, but not making fun of anyone else. But you say something like, you know what, I can't swim in sand, or I would just melt like I'd feel like an ice cube in the Middle East because it's fucking bloody hot. And I don't even know if you can do a remote starter to get the air conditioning working from your apartment. That's how freaking damn hot it is. And then what you're looking for is her to break and start to laugh. If she laughs, you put it in neutral, you can put it in another gear. This works time and time again. Most times it's like using the word because. You're going to get compliance, or you're going to get the person you're able to switch conversations 7-8 times out of 10. So in that example that I spoke about, the Middle East, and you say, oh yeah, one thing I don't like about the Middle East, she's like, what's that? Well, there's a lot of sand. Yeah, and well, I don't swim very well in sand. Right? So let's just say she starts laughing. And you could say, but you know what? I would love to visit. And I heard Lebanon is a fantastic place to go. And have you ever been to Lebanon? And she'd say no. And then you say this, just as an example. I'm brainstorming. I'm going on the fly right now. And then you say, well, if you could choose anywhere in the world to like your top place that you'd want to visit, where would that be? Well, most likely she's not going to say Middle East anywhere. She's going to say something else, and you go, oh, wow, Japan. Fuck, I've never been to Japan. Like, what did you like about Japan? You see what just happened? Now you've changed the subject. You've saved your ass because you've moved away from talking about the conflict in Palestine and Israel, right? Or in the West Bank and Jordan and all that. Anyways, God. So now you're able to go and talk about a different topic by using laughter. Remember, laughter is putting the car in neutral, and it works 7 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10 on anyone you're speaking with, because you will find yourself in a situation where the conversation gets heated, and maybe you didn't even cause it. Maybe it's a family gathering, holiday time, and somebody's talking about something kind of controversial and it's not going well. And you can use that tactic, that Jedi mind trick, to put the conversation in neutral, change gears, and create another, or go off and start talking about another topic. All right, man. Thanks for sticking with me. I know it took a few minutes to get to the laughter part, but I needed to explain the importance of belief systems, laughter, and basically the power of the brain, and how there's certain trigger words that you can use to your advantage and to your defense when things go fucking sideways, because you have no idea what might trigger that person in a conversation. So anyways, all right, man. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next time.